be only one winner.
Who was I supposed to kill again? That doesn't matter.
Oh, fight now!
Live and let die. Fight!
Greetings, people of Earth. As usual, this is jmoonies, here pretty much to let you know what the deal is with that last Xbox Play video. As some of you have guessed, the mystery challenger is indeed Maximilian. This is not without purpose though, as I'm actually in the process of putting together a series of interview videos I did for Machinima. Knowing that a lot of my subs aren't exactly subscribed to Machinima as well, I decided to cut together a clean version just so you can see what I've been working on and pretty much why I haven't logged on PSN or why I haven't been accepting your challenges as well. So bear with me for the next few weeks because this project has been a bit time consuming and I kind of want to finish this in the next few weeks. But anyways, enjoy the matches, enjoy the little documentary on Maximilian's humble beginnings as well as the growth of his YouTube stardom. And enjoy the show. By the way, I will be playing sporadically through the week, but don't expect an episode of the Lobby Challenger for a little bit. Sorry for you guys who are waiting. So I'm joined here today with Maximilian, also known as Miles923 on YouTube. By the way, that's not your birthday, is it?
No, it's not. It was actually a collection of lucky numbers, and it's my middle name. I think I made it back in like 2006, yeah.
I looked at your channel pretty recently. I noticed you had over about 440 videos on your channel.
Yeah, there's a lot now.
It's been active for about 4 years. When exactly did you start working on this channel seriously?
I'd say, well, when I first started up the thing, it was actually for the purpose of Street Fighter 4 coming out, and I was at a local arcade almost every day for a month playing the game before it was out in the States, and recording footage. I'd actually say like 150 of my videos are actually responsible for those, like those little match footage. But I think I started taking it seriously, really seriously, earlier this year, probably around like February or so.
Yeah, I was noticing a lot of your footage was actually taken off screen. Does that mean you started doing the whole hop hog thing pretty like in this year then?
Somewhat, no.
Or the last year, I
guess.
Yeah.
I think I got the HD PVR around 2009. It was right around the time Lost Planet 2 came out. Me and my friends there was like a contest through Capcom who could set the world record for completing the demo and taking down the giant salamander in Lost Planet 2. And I had just bought an HD PVR and we recorded the footage and we actually got the world record on the contest. I think that was the first time I used it. And it was either late 2008 or early 2009. So I've had it for a while.
So there wasn't really any serious intent behind this. Like, I know nowadays a lot of people are kind of starting up YouTube channels with the intent of, you know, getting ad revenue and trying to sort of make a business out of it, but
not at all. Like,
was it just kind of like a casual, like, hey, I did this, check it out?
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of goes into the initial background where my channel first got a lot of attention besides like my Street Fighter videos and random fighting game videos. Was when Modern Warfare 2 came out. I was one of the first people to have Modern Warfare 2 gameplay online next to a guy that no one has ever heard of named Sandy Ravage. Me and him were producing videos, and I think we got like the first nuke. It was either me or him, but we had the very first nuke videos online, and I think that video got 150,000 views in less than 24 hours and got pulled by Activision. And I took that as a moment to say, like, well, I'm going to stop doing this. But Sandy kept doing it. And he's pretty much like the legend Ravage now. A couple of my initial Modern Warfare videos found a ton of success, and they have like 2 to 3 million views each.
So if only you didn't switch over to Marvel vs. Capcom.
If only I kept putting up Modern Warfare videos. If only I kept playing Modern Warfare 2. That would have been the smart thing to do. But back in the day, I literally told myself as I was like an online content producer and graphic designer for a web company, I was like, there's no money in YouTube back in 2009. There's nothing to be had here. Whatever. And it didn't even cross my mind.
When did you decide to make the switch to fighting games? Because this is kind of an oddly polarizing theme you seem to have. I mean, first off, I kind of want to mention you're sort of an oddity as far as fighting game directors go, because you might actually have the most subscriber count out of anyone who does fighting game content. Like, you have at least 10K more than Cross Counter, I'm pretty sure.
I think maybe Darkside Phil might have a bunch, but he's got a huge fan base.
He spans across everything.
Yeah, he does everything. At the same time, like, I had always been into shooters. I think my very, very first HD PVR videos were of, like, Call of Duty 4, because that game, you know, making a montage for COD 4 3 years ago was amazing, and no one was doing it, and then it became everyone did it.
Yeah,
that's funny. But then I started making like those Street Fighter videos, like Street Fighter 4 videos, like crazy. And I kind of shared the both of them, because as much as like I find Call of Duty to be a lot of fun, and I enjoy having a shooter to complement like fighters and what other games I'm playing, my friends are always on Call of Duty, so that kind of always brings me back.
There's an interesting point I wanted to bring up, because I've talked to a few directors and they have some speculations of how you grew into power, but a lot of them seem to think that you started your fame with just Call of Duty. And would you say that's when you actually got big, or because as far as I know, like, it seems like you're mostly known as the online warrior?
Yeah, for the sake of what the established base of subscribers I currently have, it's definitely more like 75% fighting game centric, or even more than that is what they're looking for. They're looking for like fighting games, if not other games. But really, like, the first actual amount of success that hit my channel, besides like a random Ken music video I did back in Street Fighter 4, I got like 30,000 views, and I thought I was the hottest shit in the world. It was when that Modern Warfare 2 stuff happened, and that when I put up that first nuke video and some domination gameplay, that's when things really blew up, and I got like 4,000 subscribers overnight. Unfortunately, I didn't do anything with it, and literally you didn't see me making any other videos besides a couple of random Street Fighter 4 pieces, me going to E3 and playing Marvel, things like that.
The growth of your channel isn't really, like, that's also another thing that seems to elude a lot of directors, or at least a lot of newcomers for that matter, is because they don't know how to build a subscriber base. And I was just kind of curious how the development worked for you, because, I mean, not just Call of Duty, but especially for the fighting content, if you say 75% of your audience is coming to your channel to look for that, how did you get to that point?
It was as soon as I started making some random Marvel vs. Capcom videos. At the beginning of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I didn't realize I was producing content that had not really been done before, and it was combining a commentary style from like Call of Duty that I've seen so much before, and introducing that into fighting games, giving like live talking commentary so that people can relate to you and hear you talk, which I think is really important. And that's where the online warrior started for Marvel 3.
Yeah, I was thinking that goes pretty much neglected on the YouTube fighting community.
Quite a bit.
A lot of combo montages, but no one actually talks about their play.
You'll see a ton of combo videos. You'll see like direct match play. You know, you'll actually just watch matches. You'll see tracks with commentary from like commentators at live events and stuff like that. But even nowadays, I can only really count like maybe 10 or so guys that actually add commentary to gameplay. And I specifically did it for the reason because Marvel 3 was pretty young at the time, and I got my hands on an early copy. Well, that was another thing that happened right before that kind of inspired me to do Marvel 3 The Online Warrior. Was
pre-release coverage?
You know, it was the pre-release coverage, and I made a combo video called The Decade of Hype. And it was an homage to the original Marvel vs. Capcom games, especially Marvel 2, since people had been playing it for 10 years. And it was just like a collection of all the moments over the past like 10 years. And then I made a combo video of all the new characters in Marvel 3 with the pre-release copy of the game I had. And that thing, I ended up pulling it, but it got like 300,000 views, and people were really excited for Marvel. Like back when the game came out, there was a ton of hype. That's all I wanted to do. Like one of my most favorite things about the video game industry and fighting games is hype, and like being excited for something and finally getting your hands on it or watching something to be excited about. That was the goal of the video, and I guess it was pretty successful.
What did that do for your subscriber count?
I think it gave me 2,000 overnight, and it gave me a bunch of residuals. But I started posting some random online gameplay, and it's really weird. I think there's one online ranked gameplay video I have of just me playing the game, no commentary, and it's got like 200,000 views. It's a lot of when it comes to video game content online is getting something out there that isn't out there yet, or getting the perfect time, or understanding that you have something that you're going to offer like a community of people that people are waiting for, that they want really bad.
Pretty much considering it like a news source.
Kind of, yeah, in a way. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking of that when I'm putting up these videos. I just really wanted to make a combo video because I had an idea for this Decade of Hype thing. And I'm like, oh, I know a lot of people want to know how online works, which is why that video has a ton of views, because so many people who buy fighting games, online is their main resource for playing. So they want to know how the online functions, and I think that's why the little bit of Marvel success I had started there. And then actually a month later is when the Online Warrior came out, when the game was still kind of new, and then I just started breaking down the things I knew from playing it a little bit pre-release and helping everyone out as much as I could.
So then, after the initial release of the game, how do you feel developing the channel has gone since then? Because, I mean, like you said, you got 2,000 off that first video, but going from that point, once everyone has access to it, how do you pretty much grow your channel at that point? Obviously, we know what projects you do, but do you find that you tend to gain more of an audience through your usual commentaries, or is it really just the big projects you've been doing? Like, I mean, Sesame, obviously.
I really think it's a combination of like consistency and the stuff that I have been doing, because back in the day when I was primarily doing like Assist Me stuff, and that stuff was good and it was different. It wasn't getting me a lot of subscribers, but it was something that had not really been seen before. It wasn't pulling in like a subscriber audience, because a lot of the people were asking, like the gameplay people asking, where's the Online Warrior? Are the regular ranked matches going to come back? So many people like,
we don't want this silly acting, we want gameplay.
But I have
kind of comment.
Production with like masked characters and action and
lights
scripts and
cameras
and all this stuff, and it's they like it, but at the same time they like the compliments, and people just like watching gameplay videos. Like it's just true. And I just had to find the time to give the commentary to the gameplay.
What do you say how the early reception of that series went?
Early on, I was actually really skeptical that it would just bomb and drop and everyone would hate it, because I really designed it to be very fighting game centric, and the very early episodes of like Assist Me were the jokes were almost geared towards the fighting game community and people that played Marvel before. And surprisingly, it was actually well received, and I was blown away that people were enjoying the show. To be honest, I had an idea to get an excuse to like, get all my friends to come over and something we can do every once in a while. We had no film experience at all. The only thing it really cost me was like, you know, a bit of money to get the thing started. And it was literally that. It was just an idea based off an Online Warrior episode where my wife dressed up my dog to be Amy, and I made a skit or gag about it attacking Wesker, and that matchup being tough for Wesker in the original game. And from that, I had this vision of like, oh man, what if Wesker like busts down my door and he sits on my couch? I have a friend that dresses up as Wesker at conventions. Holy crap, I'm gonna do this. I just couldn't get
You
out
did that before? You did that before the show?
Yeah, that was before the show. That was
nice. That's awesome.
Wesker was supposed to be the first character, but I started randomly messing around with like vocoders and like voices, because I wanted to like have an argument with Wesker, and I was going to use all of his pre-recorded voice clips. And then I realized this would be a lot easier if I can get an actor to play the character, and we can just do like a commentary, a banter between me and a character, which would be funny. But then I ended up messing with vocoders, and I created a Dr. Doom voice in like GarageBand, and asked one of my friends to do it, who is a pretty eccentric guy, and voila, he became Dr. Doom. I hammered out a script and we shot it.
That's pretty awesome.
It's weird how it all like kind of came to be, and we didn't end up doing Wesker until like episode 2, but a lot of the stuff I had ideas for Wesker, they're totally in that one.
It's our turn.
Fuck you, jmoonies. Seriously, fucking die in a fire.
Yeah.